Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. Got another NASCAR Wheel and Tour Modified Series race for you here this week from South Boston. This time this is the Open Setup Series. Qualified 4th out of 11 total. We are car number 3, so it's actually right around where we should be. Don't feel too great about the speed in the car. Definitely don't think I have anything for the number 4 or the number 2 car, and probably will get freight train. And try to get a good start, try to get to the inside, run around. I'll be thrilled to death with a top 3, and honestly, even a top 5 out of this would be a pretty decent result. Just more or less going to try to keep the car as clean as we can. It's 110 laps, so a little bit longer than what the fixed series is. So I think the name of the game is just going to keep it clean for the first probably 2/3 to 3/4 of the race, and then if we have speed in the car, try to push from there. Last few races that I've seen the results for, they were able to run fairly clean. Only have a few cautions, so I'm hoping maybe that's what can happen.
110 laps.
We can kind of get in a rhythm, so we're just going to do what we can. And again, if we get freight train sent to the back off the start, that's fine. I'm going to try to get my way down, but I'm also not going to
follow Miller in the outside
try
column.
and force my way in and cause any damage, because no fast repairs, no extra sets of tires or anything. You really cannot afford to take any contact or spin out or anything, especially in these cars where minimal contact can easily damage wheels and suspension. So just gonna try to do what we can off the start. The 5 to the inside. I'm not sure how he's gonna stack up in front of us. We were originally behind him in qualifying, and then picked up some speed the second lap, jumped in front of him. So I feel like we're, about a 3rd or 4th place car in this if everything shakes out the way that it should. So I'm just gonna do what we can. Deselect the fuel. We shouldn't need that. All tires are off. Get ready to go. I'm a bit worried about the 6 behind us on what he might do, but let's gonna do the best that we can.
Here we go.
And we're off and going. Looks like the inside gets going. There's the contact right off the bat that I was trying to avoid.
Keep it steady.
We'll let the 6 go by us and see if we can get 6 drives up into us.
Still there.
Not really sure how that was on us.
Still there.
But long race to go, so we can build up from that. You can see we fall all the way back to 7th and really lost touch with the leader altogether, but any caution brings us back together, so we're just going to try to ride around and feel the car out now that we finally can get to the inside.
14.63. The car ahead has just done it.
Don't think there's probably any real damage to the car. Hopefully the contact with the 6 was fairly light, so overshoot that corner. Got to get slowed down a little bit more coming into it.
That's a new fastest lap for Miller. 14.
Just trying to do what we can. Looks like the 6 pushes up.
P7.
And we'll look out for contact between the 6 and the 7 if that happens.
Fastest lap for Currit. 14.50. That's your fastest lap today.
See, we're not horrifically off, about a 10th off or so. And I feel like the car can get a little bit faster, so we're going to try to get by these 2 as quickly as we can if we can get to them, but I'm also not going to force anything. Just cannot afford to lose too much time if this does go green all the way. But I also cannot afford to get collected up in any contact that these 2 cause with each other. Just going to try to ride on as close as we can to take advantage if they make contact. You can see both of them continuing to push up, so we're going to try to jump to the inside of the 6 if we can. I would expect him to dive back down. He's been fairly aggressive overall.
2.5 seconds.
It's definitely got me worried. You can see he gets in there and collects the 7, and there's the caution.
Alright Jake, our fuel window opens on lap 83. It'll close on lap 96.
It's going to put us on the outside again.
It looks
looked like we were quite a bit faster than the 8 and the 10, so hopefully we can get a better start and at least not lose any more spots. Thankfully that brings us back together. Everybody said we can get by the 6, we can be right up again challenging for top 5. I figured that was going to happen in some form, either between the 7 doing it to the 6 or the 6 doing it to the 7, although the 6 is definitely more erratic, shoving up quite a bit through the corner. So if we don't get by him on the restart, that's going to be our shot to try to take advantage of it and get to his inside when he shoves up the middle of the corner and get by him. Looks like there's some contact from behind from checking up, so
Pace car is out.
we're going to keep an
It's
eye out,
closed.
mirror behind us so that we don't get any unnecessary damage as well out of it. So you can see just 10 completed out of the 110, so hopefully this is not a massive caution fest, although it's at least allowing us to tighten back up to the leader, so might give us a shot at still getting that top 3 that we want. And these corners still count the same, whether they're at green flag speed or at caution speed for safety rating. And we're trying to get as many clean laps as we can to still come out with a positive result for that 4x off the start. So I don't really feel like we came down, but we'll check the replay afterwards and see if we did or not. So we start behind the 1. Looks like he got shuffled out a little bit off the start, so outside line here is just so tough.
Green, green, green.
I'll
Let's
let the 6 go. We're going to stay ahead of the 8. He's going to get pretty aggressive into 1 there. And we're going to watch for the 6 to make any mistakes. Just like that. We're going to get to his inside. He makes contact again with us. He is just all over the place. I don't really feel like we did anything there, so thankfully it didn't seem to be too hard and it didn't spin us out, so that helps big time in keeping us going. I kill the safety rating. I just don't understand why he's driving the way that he is. It seems like he cannot hold the line at all.
We're outside. We're outside.
That one was probably on us, but he was all over the place, so I don't really feel too bad about that one at all, honestly. Hopefully it didn't damage the front end. We cannot afford to take any more contacts with 12X now. Another contact, and contact with all our spinning out will give us the DQ and a 25-second penalty, so we're just going to try to keep it clean. Yeah, I was hoping to try to keep a fairly clean race in this, and this is a lot like the C-Class 3 stocks. You don't run this for safety rating, especially at a track like this. I think part of the issue with these is there's often not many entries, so you either go single split or it splits really, really low, and you still end up with some people that are just not quite as good at car control. And I know I'm not very good at car control at times. I'm still learning, but I feel like I'm a step above ahead of somebody like the 6. So when somebody's erratic like that, it can make it very hard. And I really didn't want to sit behind him any longer than I had to. So hopefully it didn't damage the car too bad. Looks like he's in the pits. So, and it looks like he actually just dropped the race. So yeah, that should feel bad in a way, but I don't feel bad. Hopefully that should make the race a little bit cleaner, because the 7 seemed to be a bit all over the place, but nowhere near as bad as what the 6 was. So maybe we can go green the rest of the way and see where the car is and try to move up. So at least be starting on the inside now, being that we're 5th. So hopefully that did not hurt the car too much, and we can try to keep pace with everybody in front of us. So we'll be restarting on 20 of 110. Should be good on fuel. I'm not too worried about that. Just worried about what the car itself is going to feel like. So I'm going to try to pick up a spot or 2 off the start if we can, being that we're on the inside.
Green flag.
I feel like we get a decent start on the 5. Going to try to clear him. Hopefully now we can just go green the rest of the way so that we don't have to start on the outside and end up in the same spot the 5 was in. And we'll just see if we can have any speed. It looks like the top 3 are all hooked together and pulling away. Right now I don't have anything for him. Looks like there's some contact between the 1 and the 2 there. 2 is falling back in line. seems a bit slower. We make contact with him, so now we're going to have to be very careful to make no contact and not get that penalty. Didn't expect him to slow up as much as he did, but nonetheless still on me. Probably shouldn't have been that close. Car is a bit slow, but we'll just see how it runs.
That was a 14.74 E4.
Generally takes 5 to 10 laps for the tire pressures to come up and the car to get a little bit faster, so I'm not crazy worried that it's not as quick as it was, but it may be a tenth or so off of what it could be from the contact that we've had. Again, any little bit of contact with these cars can easily slow you down from the wheels being exposed. And we kind of took some shots all over the chassis, so leader's definitely gone. Got the 5 looking inside, so we're going to have to do our best to make sure that we enter the corners a little bit lower and try to defend that.
14.74.
We have to drive as clean as we can again, because we cannot afford any more incident points, otherwise we will get that black flag, and that will easily be 3 laps down, and you're still looking at least a lap if you try to serve it under caution. I'm not even sure if you can, honestly. It's been a while since I've run one of these and had that many where my car wasn't trashed. So, getting a bit of a green flag running here. We're just, I hope it stays that way. Looks like top 5 of us have really pulled away. Love to try to gap the 5 just so we can build a little bit of a room to
okay, Jake.
ride.
Consistent.
Just want to click off as many laps as possible and not get that DQ at all.
That lap was a 14.71.
Let's say 8x out of that 16 was on us, but the first 8x was quite frustrating to collect from the 6 as he was just all over the place. So
that was a 14.77.
Sucks when somebody puts you in a position like this and then you just make it worse by your own mistakes. So it's like we're running about even with the 5, catching up to the back of the 2. But long way to go. Got a lot to see what the car is going to do over the full run. And then in practice I never really ran this long of a run, so 5's going to look to the inside if we can. We got to quit making the mistakes. Balance-wise, it feels fairly decent. Maybe a hair tight entry into the center, but not too bad overall. So also click this race off a lot faster if we're able to stay green and complete these laps. So. But I wouldn't mind. I would be a bit upset with the caution just because I don't want to restart on the outside, but I also wouldn't mind given that it would help us just log more laps without much risk of taking any incident points. Generally enjoy running these races more for the longer length, but they can be frustrating when you're people that drive very clean. See, we went low to avoid the lapper and gave us a bad entry into 3, and the 5 almost was able to take advantage of it.
The lap time was 15.06. The track temperature is increasing. It's now 88 Fahrenheit.
See, we probably should be somewhere in a 4th or 5th place, just like we thought, so I'd be thrilled to death with a 4th place out of this. Maybe it's possible if other people fall off a little harder than we do, we might be able to try to get by the 2 and pick up a 3rd for a podium, but 4th place would be okay. Seems like the 5 has fallen back a little bit, and there's a very big back to the 10 and 6. He's about 5.5 back of us, so Definitely seems like the 1 and the 4 are your front 2 contenders, and then there's a pretty good group between us, the 2, and the 5 for 3rd through 5th. So definitely driving on edge. Don't feel very comfortable right now simply because of the incident point danger zone, not because of the way the car is. I feel like I have absolutely no mistake area at all. So, if I didn't have those instant points, I feel like I could probably drive a little more aggressively and not be so worried about hitting the wall. So I'm kind of not running quite as low through the corners as I would, so that I don't hook the car, and not coming quite as high up on the straightaways either. So that may cause us to give up a little bit of time and not finish as well as we could. But honestly, I'm okay with where we're at right now. We overshoot that corner, push up a little bit. 2 gets into the wall. 1 gets loose through the middle of 3 and 4. Allows the 4 to pull away. 2 and us would have been even closer to the 1 had he not gotten into the wall. 5 still hanging tough. See if that slows the 1 down enough. I couldn't tell if he got in the wall or if he just got loose through the center of the corner. Same thing with the 2. I don't know how hard he hit it, so not sure if he'll see a big speed fall off. We get a little loose off of 2 as well. 5's definitely getting closer. Another slow car coming up ahead.
Just done a 15.11.
Looks like that's the 8. He's gonna stay high through the corner. Thank you to him. 2 pushes up, getting too low of an entry in, getting around the 8. Looks like the 1's not hurt too bad as he's starting to pull away from the 2 again.
15.07.
We get on the gas too early, push up out of 2. This is some fairly tight racing, and again, under normal circumstances, I'd be thrilled to death with this because it'd be a lot of fun, but when I can't afford any incident points, I'm not really thrilled with it. Just want to find a hole and ride in it where I can just click laps off. Let's see, we're almost there to halfway, so we're on 52 now out of 110. Long green flag run here. Hopefully we can just stay green the rest of the way, potentially for the sake of not being involved in anything on restarts. 1 gets into the wall again on its front stretch.
You've just done a 15.
Got the 11 up ahead again. Looks like he's trying to do his best to stay out of the way to let everybody by. We're able to get by him no problem. Thank you to him for being very courteous. Five seems to be falling off again. 1 looks like he taps the wall again on the front stretch. Be halfway next time by. I feel like we're closing in a little bit on the 2. But I'm going to have to wait for the most opportune time to get by him without any contact.
We think about 46 laps, a few left.
We may have to start lifting. Got lucky to make contact with the 2 without any incident points there. That was a massive gift. We're able to clear by him. Sorry to him if we got into him. Did not mean to. I'll take another spot though. We're probably gonna have to start saving fuel at some point in time. I thought I built enough into the setup, but apparently I haven't.
Last lap was at 15.36.
Yeah, we're gonna be way short, it sounds like. Got the 5 catching us substantially, so depending on what he does, we may pull over, let him by. Looks like the Stews drop back a little bit, might be regrouping or maybe damaged out of that. Again, I feel really bad if I affected his car too much. Just gonna run as long as we can on the fuel, and then if we need to stop, we will. Hopefully by that point in time, if we stay green, there will be cars that are multiple laps down so that we don't lose too much time.
P3. Full course caution, watch out.
Alright, so got the caution. That should hopefully help us try to save a little bit of fuel. We're in third, so we're going to get the start on the
Line up
inside.
single file behind car number 1. We're under
Looks
caution.
like
Pit's
we're
closed.
down to, it's going to have us 51 laps coming up soon. We've got 48 to go right now, so we're going to run around the inside as long as we can. Try to reduce the fuel usage here as much as we can. Yeah, I'm okay with not trying to get inside of the one off the restart. I'm okay with just seeing if we can get away and lock down third. That'll make me really happy. So we are going to reduce it, and yeah, we'll just do 3 gallons in case we have to go in. See where we're at on the fuel. Come across with 46 to go, looks like. We're showing right now we're gonna be about 13 laps to the good, but that should fall off quite a bit, so yeah. I'm just gonna do as much as we can to try to save here under caution, and hopefully this one is enough to buy us the time that we need to
Pits are open.
not have to stop. I would love to be able to get the top 3, top 4, top 5, something like that. So 2 to go.
Pace car is out. Pits are closed.
Let's see, looks like first car multiple laps down is the 10 and 8, so we could easily fall back to 7th if we had to pit. So we're going to try to hope that the car works its way through. So right before we start, we'll check it. See, everybody else seems to be doing a very similar thing, running as low as they can and then coming back out. One does the same thing, so line up on the inside this time. Be restarting on 68, so we'll have 43 to go. Put us somewhere around 17 to the good and 18 to the good, but that will easily get burnt off as we get running, so hopefully that was enough to buy those few laps that we were short, and if we can find a hole, it's possible that we could try to save a little more. We'll be careful for the 2 that he might want to serve some payback in case he was unhappy with that contact. 5 and 2 have a little bit of run in there. I don't think they made any contact. I think the 2 was able to avoid the 5. 5 was just trying to get down to the inside line so they didn't lose any more spots. So hopefully that buys us a little bit of that gap we're looking for. 4 and 1 are gone. I'm just going to let them have their battle because I don't think we have the speed for them at all. So and it's possible, I guess, if the 1 really wants to get aggressive, that he could have some contact out of it. But again, I'm okay with third right now. We can just find this happy medium, and if we can really find some extra gap, we might be able to try to lift a little bit and save, but for right now with the 5 being a lot faster, I don't want to do that yet. I need to save towards the end. I will do what I need to do, but we got the 5 closing in too much. Get really loose off the corner, it's going to hurt us, but thankfully we had enough of a gap that the 5 wasn't able to get inside of us. So just got too low, it looked like, out of 4 that time and got loose, so it allows the 4 and the 1 to pull away. But again, I'm really kind of racing for third right now. 5's going to get real close, almost gave us our next incident point that would have sent us in, so hopefully he's going to back off a little bit, be a little more respectful. Not sure if he sends it to us and does it, that's on us. So we made a couple mistakes that we could avoid that could have given us that safety margin. So let the apron again go a little loose. So if he keeps pressuring, we may just let both of them go by and drop back to 5th. As obviously getting DQ'd or having to start the black flag is going to be worth far less than the 2 spots that we would lose, or be more detrimental. So I know the last one, as the run went on, I felt like I got a little bit faster compared to the 5 and was able to pull away, so We'll just see. He may have been saving his car as well. Push up. Is he gonna look inside? Looks like he can't get quite close enough, so we're able to avoid losing any spots on that mistake. Again, 3 of us have just massively pulled away from everybody, so there's seems like 3 packs of racing right now. You got the 4 and the 1, and then us, the 5 and the 2, and then everybody else, it seems like, flip the apron again, get loose coming out of 4. On 78. Next time by we'll have 32 to go.
Outside, clear to the top, clear outside.
He's definitely looking aggressive, trying to pull what he can. Loses a little bit of time to us.
15.01.
Hopefully this is that point where we can start pulling away. You know, we can kind of just build a little bit of a safety margin in. That way we don't run the risk of getting hit at all, and we
You've just done a
may be able to lift a little bit
15.00.
and see if we can save any fuel. Car still feels pretty good balance-wise. I think the loose-off condition is me getting a little low and getting a little hard on the gas. I gotta be a little bit smoother on it coming out. Get a little bit too high entry there in 3. 5's closing back in. Seems like he's taking another run. Looks like a little bit of smoke up front, maybe out of the 4 as a lockup or a slide, because I don't see any lappers in front. Very, very faint. Don't think that's any sort of issue there. 4 looks like he's gapping the 1 a little bit. We get too high, 5 is going to look low. We were able to come back down and stop that run. And by to start 85 of 110.
That lap time was 15.10.
This rate, since we're not really pulling away from the 5, I'd be okay with another caution now to try to help save fuel and make sure that we can get to the end, because
You've just done a
it seems pretty easy to get this start
15.06.
and be able to hold the position. We just have to fend him off. Coming up to the 11 again. Got the 8 way up high. We're going to stay way low to avoid him. 11 also goes high, thank you to him. Both of them are being incredibly courteous. There's the caution we were looking for. You can see we got 34 to go right now.
Line up single file.
We're still about 5 laps short.
Pits are closed.
Yeah, it's going to be really
Pits are
close for sure. Let's see, the 11 should get the lucky dog again, be back to 1 lap, so it'll still put us in a situation where we could easily drop to 7th if we had to pit. I could come in now and go back to 6th, but I think I'm just going to take the gamble and stay out. So hopefully this is another longer caution. You know, we can get 3 or 4 laps out of it at least, and try to gain as much time. Looks like the 1's not moving down for the 11 to go by. Hoping that they don't show 2 to go this time by, that we still at least have 3 laps under caution. We're just going to literally try to run this as low as we can. So we're at least getting this lap plus 2 more, which is what I would expect to see. So still going to have to contend with the possibility of the 5 getting in the back of us and send this in for that black flag penalty for incident points. So yeah, just try to do what we can as best as we might, as much as we can. It'd be great if we didn't see the 2 to go. I don't want to show you guys caution laps, but I also want to finish this race on the tank that I have. So there is the 2 to go though, unfortunately. So 20 to go right now.
Pits closed.
Shows the 16 laps to the good. But again, I'm pretty worried about that number as it falls off pretty hard when we get rolling. So I think I was calculating, you know, 1/10 of a gallon a lap or so, so 2 gallons roughly. That's gonna put really close for sure. Really close. So be restarting with 18 to go.
Pace car's in this lap.
So, yeah, where are we? Right on the edge. 18 to go, probably be about. Seems like we're really good on fuel, but it just falls off really hard, so not sure if we're going to be good. Again, we're just going to try to get a good jump, let the 1 get in front of us, and hopefully we'll pull away from both the 2 and the 5. A bit of rough on the start, but the 5 doesn't get as good of a start either. The 2 crushes a little bit. 4 runs the 1 up pretty high. 5 still holding to the outside. Be nice if either of those 2 made some contact. Looks like the 4 pushes way up trying to block. The 1's going to run to the inside. You may see a lead change. 2's trying to look low. We're going to try to get in front of him, dive back down. There could be contact between the 1 and the 4 now. It's the 4 for the first time is not in the lead, so he might get aggressive. Just gonna kind of hang back and watch this and hopefully not be involved in it, but also try to pull away as the 2 is now ahead of the 5. Although I feel like the 5 was faster than the 2, so if the 2 can block the 5, that may gain us a little bit. 4 gets loose off of 4. Got a great race going up front while we're still trying to defend our position here and hopefully not run out of gas. So we're gonna have 14 to go this time by. 2 takes a little bit of a late break in. He's going to take the inside. Give him the position going in the corner so that we don't get that incident point. Really trying to work our hard on the outside. Going to try to get him by quickly. Make very light contact with him. 5 to the inside. 2 gets loose going into 3. Okay with 4th right now. We'll check the fuel when we get 10 to go. Yeah, we all kind of hit the brakes late, trying to get in the corner as hard as we could. 2 got loose. I did, and 5 did as well. 5's getting really aggressive, so again, I might let him by so that we just fall back to 5th instead of falling back to 7th or 8th. Seems like we're pulling away a little bit from 5. So 10 to go.
15.04.
You can see we're about 9 laps to the good, so it's going to be really stinking close. Really close. I'm going to keep it on this just because we know where everybody's at, and
that lap was at 15.02.
I'm going to try to maintain the fuel. Come by with 8 to go. Right now it's showing us a lap and a half short or so. So might have to lift and let the 5 by. I'm actually just going to let him by. We get hit, so that sends us in, and that also caused front damage.
Pace car is out. Line up single file behind Miller. Pace car is out. Pits are closed.
We also got engine damage out of that, so I'm not really sure why the 5 pushed up so high out of that. That hurts. Wheel damage, engine damage.
Yellow. Pits are open.
Yeah, that's not going to do what we wanted to do. Looks like we will end up falling back to likely 7th. Just tried to move high to get the 5 on by, and stinking 5 just, I don't know. I was going to let him by so that way we could try to lift and save the car, and he just, yeah, super frustrating. So it was all a pure strategy play so that we would be clean, and he just, I don't know what he did. I really don't know what he did. So yeah, looks like we're just gonna give up, pull it in.
Pit lane speed limit is 35 miles per hour.
Yeah, we'll finish 7th likely.
100 feet.
So we miss our pit stall, so
1 gallon remaining.
Yeah. It's just gonna stay out and try to minimize how many laps down we are. So as soon as it goes green, I'll pull in and serve everything, and try to minimize again how far down we are. So Super frustrated. Was just trying to lock up a fifth, honestly. That's all I was trying to do was lift, let him by, and collect the fifth and move on. Hopefully gain a tiny bit of I rating. Knew we were going to lost a ton of safety rating, but just trying to finish the race, get you guys something, and he just drove all the way up the corner. I could not have gone much higher into the corner, and he just drove straight up. So not really sure what that was about at all.
Okay, Jake, get ready. Race will resume at the end of
My
this lap.
expectation would be that he, yeah, is not probably rated very well. There's probably a massive fall off, and you can see we're actually DQ'd now for not starting the penalty. So we'll pull and see if it allows us to continue on or if it boots us out. So if that's the case, we're actually going to finish 8th, which is even more frustrating. Yeah, just did what we could.
Green
So,
flag. Look out for the pit speed limit.
hate to
Push,
bring you
push,
that
push.
result.
We can get this position.
Not much else different I
300
really could have
feet.
done.
Half a gallon of
Yeah,
fuel
you can see
remaining.
it pulls us out. So feel really bad for that. Not at all what we wanted to see. Let's take a look and see what happened though. Up to the far chase. So you can see 5's looking close. This is when I decided I was going to be out of fuel. We were falling off too quick, so he came up really close here. And I believe going into 1, I went to let him by. Nope. Next lap, this lap is when I went to let him by. So we can see him pressuring. We lost the 2 quite a bit. So I go high, and he just, yeah. He just literally never once broke, so you can see I'm still continuing to go straight at this point, and he just flat out misjudged that and clips us on the left rear. So not really sure at all what the heck his deal was, even if we didn't have instant points that would have ended our race there. So super frustrating. Yeah, not really sure what that was all about. See, we had by far the most. 6 had quite a few. Thankfully, we'll say that 8 of those were due to the 6. Let's actually take a look at the beginning at that stuff and see what all that was about. Let's see here. We'll just start from the beginning. Watch so. You can see it off the start. Make a tiny bit of contact with the 5, but able to avoid anything out of that. 1 gets on by. 6 slides up into us. That gives us our first 4x out of it. Yeah, I'm literally holding line, and he loops it, slides it, and gets into me. So there's the first 4x out of it. We allow the 7 to get on by. We're going to continue to ride around, just kind of fall back in line, able to check in. This is the point where we're in 7th now. Fall around. We'll watch the 7 and the 6 start to close up, have their battle. You can see we're about holding even with them. I was taking it pretty easy at this point, kind of just feeling the car out. Pushed up too far out of the corner. Yeah, I could tell I overshot that entry. So, see, just right around. You can see the 6 constantly pushing wide, He hit that corner for once, but still pushes out probably a little earlier than I would have done. Every time I wanted to, just pushes wide. The 7, you can see, was starting to look for that inside line on him when he pushes up. Does it again in 3 and 4 there, loses it. So probably has a setup that was too loose for him, all honesty. Or he was coming in with way too much speed. That's also typically a mistake that a lot of drivers make. You see, they both push up, so if I had been closer, I would have tried to look, although the 3 wide probably would not have been the smartest move given how both of them were driving, so it was just kind of backing off, falling in line. This is when I decided that they were going to make contact, potentially, so I was kind of going to avoid that. You can see 6 pushes really, really high, partially in trying to avoid the 7, so 7 gets on by him. We're going to start closing in. 6 actually blinks. I don't know how I didn't catch that in the race. 6 gets into the 7 there, pushes him by, so there's going to be your first caution. Let's see, let's fast forward to the restart. It gets kind of close, but no real contention there. We're gonna get to the inside of the 6. Alright, let's check that, because that was our next incident point from him. So as you can see, we're right around the seam starting to come up. He's coming up as well. Yeah, that's probably on us. I expected him to drift a little further, and I thought I could hold to the middle of the track and be okay. So we'll take the first one out of him on us, but the second one, no, we'll take ownership for that. And then I know the contact that sent him around was definitely on me. So let's take a look at the results really quick, see how bad the damage is. You see it was only one split, 16, 18, strength of field pretty weak overall. 2 cars actually the fastest single lap. You can see we were about 2/10 off of that, so wanted to be a little bit closer. End up finishing 7th. Lose quite a bit of I rating out of that. Yeah, 6 was a 11:58 coming into it. The 5 actually was a 17:50 coming in. Not very good. You can see we lost same amount of safety rating. Part of that point forward is due to that overlap, but also same thing. So probably gonna avoid these races for a little while until we can get the safety rating back up. You can see a lot of sub 1,000 I-rated guys in this, so that's part of that speed, and that's also part of frustration with this sometimes with single splits. Why there's a lot of people that don't run this anymore. You just have such a massive speed skill disparity. So convinced even if we finished 6th, we would have lost I rating. We would have needed to be right in the spot where we were if we wouldn't have the 5 make contact. So frustrating finish. Hate for you guys to see that. Hopefully you got something out of it, and we can get some more people to join the Tour Mod series so that we can get some splits and these guys can have the race where they deserve to be and have, not getting killed, and we can have cleaner races up front. So remember to like and subscribe, leave me in the comments below, and hopefully we'll get you some cleaner stuff out for the rest of the week. Until next time, thanks for watching.